Good morning. Good morning. Coach Tina here. It's Monday, second week of 2024. And I don't know about you, but I am super excited that we have our new year and that we have this opportunity to start fresh, clean slate, wipe everything off, and get going with what it is we want to do this year. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that we did our release and receive ceremony at the end of the year. We got rid of all the stuff that we didn't want to get done in 2023, or that didn't happen. We might have wanted it to get done, but something happened and we released that and we received what's going to be better in this year for sure. So I've got a couple of comments. Good morning, Margaret. Margaret is watching live and she has picked up on the title of today's lesson, which is WTF 2024. Now, what am I talking about? First of all, I don't know if other countries have this WTF expression. It stands for what, but it is, in my mind, an expression of wonder. What I mean by that is when we say WTF, we're wondering, why did this happen? What is going on? We have this moment where it's just like incomprehensible that this thing could be happening. And I don't want that to happen to our 2024, right? So what I want us to do, because the statistic is the second week of January, 90% of the people will have given up on their commitments that they made for the new year. And I don't think it's intentional. Obviously not. People want the things that they wrote down or said that they wanted, but they don't know how to move forward. They don't know what to do next. They don't know how to get fulfillment, how to get the things that they have on their list. All right. Good morning, Rachel. Happy to have you. We're talking about this topic of WTF. And if you want to put in your, I guess, Rachel, you're saying you're from Virginia, so that's awesome. Margaret, I know, is from North Carolina. So we got the East Coast covered this morning. And anybody that's watching later, go ahead and put hashtag replay in. Those of you that are watching live, if there's anybody else out there, go ahead and put hashtag live. So happy to have everybody. If you don't know me yet, I'm Coach Tina, and I am the founder of the Empowering Champions community. I am a certified ULA life coach, and I am calling myself a strategic transformation guide, meaning that we have a plan for moving forward. And this week, we just spent 7 days, the first 7 days of 2024, talking about our 7F framework, which covers fitness, finance, family, field, faith, friends, and fun. And we did it in a really fun way. And adding in, yesterday, we talked about fulfillment. And on Saturday, we had a fun exercise where we added fun to the mix by gamifying our goals for the year. And I'm going to just hold this up. I know when it's blurry, it's hard to see, but we created a bingo out of our goals. And I'm sad to say that Facebook took the viewing of that recording away from us, so that we're not able to replay it because I played some music during it. I knew I was taking a chance and they found me out. And so I will be posting that. I have to re-record it. So you may, I guess I can't replay it in the community. We won't be able to see it, but I have to rewatch it and re-record it and then hold it in Zoom. I didn't make it just a slip, or maybe the internet gods were already watching over us, but I didn't copy it. So as a result, we're going to have to get that done and then put into that course I was telling you guys about. So everything we did that first week is going to be put into a format that everybody can watch in one place, and it will be available to anybody coming into the community over the next couple months that want to get started over or kick started from where they are at that point. So the fun part is really what we're doing in here to excite ourselves, if nothing else, about what can be going on with us so that we can accomplish those goals. We don't procrastinate on them. We don't push them to the side. We don't forget about them completely, but we allow ourselves to really push forward. All right. And Margaret has said, I am a proven strategic transformation guide. Love that. Love that. Yeah, I could possibly edit out the songs, but bummer, but that's okay. I mean, I was originally going to just tell everybody these are the songs and they could play them on their own. And then I thought that's a boring thing to do, but we'll figure it out. I know other people get away with it. So I should have recorded it on Zoom when I did it, and I didn't. So let's move on in the discussion today. And what I wanted to say is, let me get your answer to what's going to be different this year from last year. What are you recognizing you will do differently or you must do differently than last year? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? If we don't do the different things, we're going to struggle with the new requirements we have on our life. And that's really my goal in being in this community, is helping everybody kind of open their eyes to the way they're living life. And if you need to do it differently, then you do, because you'll get different results. Tony Robbins likes to say, life happens for you. So are you going to just let life happen to you or for you? And that means you have to take the responsibility for your own life, for your actions, for the things that matter to you. Yes. So Margaret's saying she knows she has the power to change and grow and will continue to do it. And Margaret, that is the battle, right? Like, if you already are committed and you know that that's what you want to do, then you have that resolve. I really want to brag on Kathy Douglas. Put it back up here, this morning, because she posted in the community yesterday and I was so thrilled to read it. So as we're talking about the things that we did, and you saw I put recordings up here. If you haven't seen the stuff from the weekend, let me know, or last week, so that I can get you a copy of the recordings. It will be posted, and I'll just go back to this post and I'll see #recordings, and then I'll know that you want that recording. I'm sorry, I got a little bit of a nose thing going on this morning. So what I was going to say about Kathy, and Kathy, if you watch this later, I hope you get a big smile on your face about this, but Kathy posted that, must have been Saturday night. She has a goal to do 5,000 steps. So what we did is, on our bingo sheets, we put our goals for the month, and then we're going to be knocking them off. And one of them, the center one, which usually is your free space, we made a habit, something that you have to do over and over again. So it's your free space, but you're doing it, you're doing it, you're doing it. And Kathy's goal was 5,000 steps. And she said that Saturday evening, she hadn't met her goal. And she sat down and thought, I'm just going to do it tomorrow. And then she went, wait a minute. And she stood up, she put a song on, and she danced. And she said at the end of the song, she looked, and she had made her, by dancing, that simple act of doing something different, taking an action that she wasn't normally taking. And we danced a little bit on Saturday. So that was part of it, was we brought that in, or actually that was at our retreat. she was able to shift her thinking. So how cool is that? I'm super happy for you, Kathy. I think that it is wonderful. And I know because you posted that post and said it made you feel great and you were proud of yourself, that that's the kind of thing we're looking for. Because when you excite yourself, when you motivate yourself, when it comes from within, that gets pretty exciting. All right. And Erin, I'm so happy you're watching. Change is good. Change is good. I love that. All right. Yes. And reading Margaret's post here, she says, this last year I was stagnant and hopeless, but I grabbed life by the cojones, and thanks to being surrounded and inspired by such a great community of people. That's awesome. That's awesome. Margaret has done an outstanding job. It's funny. This weekend, Dean Graziosi was on, and he did his version of why, right? So like when we talk about WTF, and I was saying the expression of wonder, one of the things that he likes to do is take you through his 7 level of why. And it's this constant asking of yourself, why is this important to me? Why is this important to me? Why is this important to me? And digging deep and getting that strong understanding of why you doing that thing will matter a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, right? If we make our goals big, that we care about whether or not they happen, that's what's going to move our life forward. That's what's going to make us excited. So we already know that by working on the things that we did this last week, that you should have some goals set for what you really want to get done this year. And they should be fun. They should be important. They should matter to you. And that's what the focus is going to be this year. I put some polls up. I started that podcast that has more information on the 7 Fs. We're going to be kind of diving deep into the layers of who we want to be next and how we're going to get there. And most of it is to have that progress. We're going to have clarity on what it is we want by setting those goals, by knowing why, by knowing how we're going to get there with that strategic plan. And then we're going to figure out the actions. And it doesn't have to be hard. It can be as easy as putting 25 things down that you want to do this month, and then looking at the list and saying, what could I do next? This question for you, Margaret. I know you were at the event where we made the bingo sheets. Have you crossed anything off your list yet? I know that I have. I was actually looking at it last night going, what, I better do one of these things here, right? And because I was already getting my free space. So I'm like, oh, I'll look right there. And it wouldn't be too hard to do that one. And that would cross that off. And so little mind tricks will support you as you go through things. Margaret's mentioning one of the mind tricks that most people have heard by now, but it is so good that it's worth mentioning again. And that is, I was just about to say her name. Quick, help me, Margaret. The 5-4-3-2-1, Mel Robbins. What Mel put together at a time in her life where she was really struggling. She was having depression and she just couldn't deal with her life the way it was. And she basically told herself that when the alarm went off in the morning, she was going to, instead of pushing the snooze button, she was going to jump out of bed and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And she was going to do something different. And what that does is just that little 5 second, it's not even 5 seconds to say it, tweak, puts a pattern interrupt on the brain and will allow you to stop the thinking that stops you from moving forward. So like a lot of us will have a thought and then almost immediately it gets met with the resistance that says, you're not going to do that, or that's going to take a lot of effort, or you're not qualified for that, or it's going to cause me some stress, so you don't want to go there, or someone might be mad at you. And as a result, you aren't going to be able to move forward. You're going to go fall backwards and think, oh, well, I'll just go back into my old habits. So Margaret said that on her list, she made a lot of things that were daily, which is fine. Try to get a bingo every day, Margaret. That's nothing, take it and run with it. But she put journaling on there. So what I did is, like, one of my things was 10 to 15 minutes of movement first thing in the morning when I wake up. And my husband and I have been doing this since Date with Destiny, where we get up before we can have any thoughts about we're dead. We have decided to just get up and move. And so we've been adding weights to it, and it's cold. And then the rain or whatever. And so we've just been walking laps in our house, and we walk together and we just talk, and it's simple, super simple. We can, be brewing something in the kitchen while we walk through it, check on it, have a drink of water, whatever it is. But it's checking that box for us. We still do lots of stuff in the morning of movement. And I know my computer is kicking me and going slow. So I apologize, you guys. We are trying to figure it out. Margaret, I did restart my router. It didn't have any effect. I don't know what's happening. But I do want to point out a couple of things. Number one is that we are going to be doing not just the 7 days that we covered, but we are going to be filling it up with the rest of this month with 21 resources to help you get going and to not give up and to not be a statistic that gives up and doesn't do their goals this year. So be watching in the community. Do me a favor. If you see the posts in there, please put a heart on it, put a comment on it. Facebook will allow more people to see things that get activity on them. And then starting next week, we will have some content based on the polls that you guys are putting out. I'm kind of drafting them and looking at what order we should address them, and if I'll decide to do like 1F every week, or if I should focus and concentrate in one area at a time over the month. And so give me a little bit of time to look at that and kind of get a feel for where our biggest needs are and how we're going to be addressing that. And then if you haven't got a copy yet, you can put #habit in, but we have a 21-day tracker for a daily habit that will help you to achieve your goals this year. And we're going to follow that up with Saturday, the 27th. So pretty much the 21 days from now, a progress workshop where we can find out what did work for you, what you're struggling with, what areas we could improve, and we'll put a little magic strategic transformation juice into the mix and see how we can improve your February. And then I'm looking at my notes here. The last thing we're going to mention is that in February, we are going to have our masterclass, but I'm pushing it back a couple of weeks. So it will be February 14th. We're going to have our masterclass, and I'll be announcing the topic on that fairly soon. So just letting you know that that's out there. I'll probably put the event up, those two events I just talked about, so that you have access to them and can RSVP early. And then we'll be posting more details about that as we get closer to them. Other than that, today is our newcomers event. So if you are new to the Empowering Champions community, we'd love to get to know you better. So we have a Zoom at 7:30, so roughly 10 minutes from now. And you are welcome to jump on, be live with us, talk about your business, your life in general, what we can do to support you in the community. And we can just get some information and get to know each other better and get connected. So looking forward to that. If you put #connected into the comments, I'd be happy to get you that Zoom link. All right. Well, you guys, I appreciate you so much. Look forward if you want to join in 10 minutes. And please put any insights you had from today, your WTF moment, and let us know what we can do to support you going forward. All right. And as Margaret has so nicely put into the comments, this is a safe, fun, empowering place. So put in #connected and let's get to know you better. All right. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you in a few minutes, hopefully. Other than that, have a great week. Look for those resources and go get your January. Go get your life. Perfect. All right. We'll send you a link. Thanks so much. Okay, Yvonne. Yeah, I'd love to have you attend. Looking forward to catching up with you. All right. We got you guys. We'll talk to you soon.